everybody, welcome to another episode of The Positive Side of the Bad Stuff. I'm Leslie Pogue, your host, and today we are going to be talking about giving yourself permission to feel better. And the acronym for that is S.E.L.F. Sleep, exercise, having a life, and the food that you eat. So I'm going to be giving you 4 tips today on how to give yourself permission to get into the habit of happy. S in self is for sleep. Sleep is so important because it recharges our battery. We need our sleep. Now, how much sleep we need, that also depends on many things. It's really helpful to take a moment and figure out how much sleep you need. I know different articles will tell you based on your age and your weight and all these different things, but what I have found is that my life shifts, and sometimes I need a little more sleep than other times. Lately, I'll be honest with you, I've landed at 7 hours. I cannot move, really, unless I have 7 hours of sleep. So a key way to get that 7 hours is I will, especially if I have something to do the next morning, I'll count backwards 7 hours, and then I'll add an additional hour so that I make sure I go to bed in time, and that also allows time for me to fall asleep. So it's really good to make sure that you have the right amount of hours, and that way if you fall a little bit short of it, you don't feel gypped and you'll still be able to wake up. Sleep is so important because it heals us. When we're ill, when we're sick, when we're tired, when we're stressed, sleep helps recharge us. So again, articles will say don't have a television in the room, don't use an electronic reader to read before you go to sleep. And they're absolutely right. Some of us are hard-headed, like me. And I love my TV, as I've shared with you guys before. I'm a TV-aholic, so I do happen to have a TV in my room. But what I do, and what I think a lot of people don't do, is I don't think people set the timer on their television. Now, if your television does not have a timer, that is not a good TV to have in the bedroom. But I set the timer on my TV, and I set it for 30 to 60 minutes, nothing longer than that. I usually watch something that's lightweight, something comedy, try not to have anything too heavy, definitely not news. If something's gonna laugh, or something that you can just have on in the background, depending upon why you have it on, can make the difference. But keep that in mind because it is a distraction, and the light does play with our senses, so it can keep us awake. I know there have been times I'll have the TV on. I'm really sleepy when I lay down. I'll have the TV on and then I'm awake, which is bad. It's horrible. So it's a catch-22 if you have your TV. Same with the electronic reader. For the electronic reader, have a manual book. Keep a manual book by your bed, and use that to read before you go to sleep. And that also will help relax your senses so that it's easier to go to bed and go to sleep. Scents or aromas are also very, very good. Lavender is a common scent that is recommended to help relax your senses for sleep. I know I use a product that I get from Bath and Body Works. It's Sleep. It's actually called Sleep. There are 2 versions. I get the lavender and vanilla version, and I spray it on my pillows and on my background curtains here. I don't do it right before I go to sleep. I do it a little bit when I clean my room and when I'm straightening up so that the scent has a chance to settle. But it's very relaxing, and it does help. Just that aroma in the air is just very soothing. You could also use candles. Candles are very helpful as well, and they can light. You can get some scented oils or use candles, and that's always a great way to also relax in the evening. as well. Let's not forget about meditation, and I know some people pray, so things like that also are great practices to get into right before bed, because again, it stops the day, slows it down, it gives you a chance to clear your mind and prepare yourself for sleep. We forget that we do need to prepare for sleep. So take a moment to give yourself permission to get into the habit of being happy and get into the habit of preparation for sleep. And I assure you, once you get into the habit of practicing preparation for sleep, the habit of happy is not that far behind. So remember that, and it'll make you a lot happier the next day. Second step in the permission to feel better is E, for exercise. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys, I can't stand to exercise. But in addition to walking, sometimes I'll do some arm pulls on my total gym. I also occasionally play golf. But I sneak in my exercise. I know, don't tell anybody. But I sneak it in. And while I'm watching television, I know there's that television again, during the commercials, I'll do different things. I might do some crunches where I'll sit and I'll lift my legs up and just do that through the course of a commercial. And then when the commercial's over, I get to stop. Sometimes I'll do planks, which helps my core, so I'll do that. And I'll try and do that as long as I can through the course of the commercial. I have yet to really make it. I think I can make it through one commercial, but I'll do planks, and that helps your core. So the longer you can hold that, the better it is. So planks are good. And then one other last thing I do, and that one is a little bit of fun. So some of you might enjoy that, and this one you can actually do with your kids. Another way to have a little fun and sneak in a little exercise is to hula hoop. When's the last time you hula hooped? And this is something fun you can do with your kids. So if you're the kind of person that really doesn't enjoy exercise, then find ways to sneak it in. You know, going for a walk is good. Golf is really good, actually. And if you're not really that great at it, just going to the driving range and hitting the ball is kind of fun. Do what I mentioned before. Get on the floor during the commercial breaks or in between a conversation and do some planks for the length of a commercial. Do some leg lifts while you're sitting on the couch and just move around. Pull out the hula hoop and just hula while you're watching your favorite show, because exercise really does give you energy. And if you make it something regimented, like you have to go to the gym, then it's going to become just as annoying as going to work and doing the other things, the other have-tos of your day. So find a fun way to include exercise into your day. And I promise that if you start to practice exercising and practice being good to you, then you will again get a little bit closer to the habit of happy. So enjoy.
28 Days to Happy is your daily guide to walk you through acknowledging and accepting the truth about what's really going on in your world, to forgive yourself and others for the wrongs you feel have been done to you, and ultimately to identify and celebrate the happiness that is always there no matter what comes your way. Look for 28 Days to Happy at www.softskillsdirect.com or at amazon.com.
The third section of self is L. Have a life. My goodness. Get out, have some fun, spend some time with yourself. If you can spend time with friends, that's fantastic. But don't be afraid to go and treat yourself to lunch or dinner, take a book, or just sit there and observe people as they go around the room. Go to the movies, go to a play, a show, do whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Because if you start there first, then the practice is a lot easier instead of forcing yourself to do things just to do things. Sit down and think about the things you thoroughly enjoy. Find some activities both free and for fee and go get out there and do them. Enjoy life and learn the practice of living with yourself first.
The last and final part of self is the F, and that is for food. When you give yourself permission to feel better, you feel better all the way around. You've gotten enough sleep, you're starting to exercise, you're having a little bit of life now, and you want to eat right. Eating right, especially when you live alone or when it's just you and a spouse or you and one other person, is real easy to come up with a bazillion reasons to go out or get fast food or just not eat so great. What I like to do is I like to make several meals or cook for the week at one time because I don't really care for cooking. I don't like the cleanup and all that other stuff. So it's really easier to just come up with several meals. And I keep it simple. A meat, a starch, and a vegetable. So you want to keep it pretty basic. Today I'm going to make chicken, fish, and I'm going to have pork chops for lunch today, and I'm going to add a little special sauce for that. So that one's going to take a little bit more time. But always get some tins from like Smart and Final. So you have several different tins, and that way, and they come with covers. They're really economical, and if it's just you and a spouse or just you, it really stores very well. And that's why it's important to have more than one choice for dinner, because if you're eating chicken the whole week or pork chops the whole week or fish the whole week, you're probably 3 days in gonna want to switch that up and go get fast food anyway. So the idea is to stay within. The other great thing about using these tins is they are proportioned. So you're not filling up your entire plate. You can eat right out of this. You don't have to dirty up a dish. Eat it, toss it, and you're done. So I'm going to prepare for my meal. I'm going to show you what it's like on the other side. If you start with the vegetables first, then you can cook your meal in shifts. And that way, if you have limited pans, it helps you out. So now I've started my rice. I chose rice because it stretches far, and that's a starch that I don't mind having with every meal, just to keep it simple. Sometimes I have mixed it up with a stuffing or something else, but keeping it simple with rice. And then I also prepared my meats. I have my chicken in one dish and my fish in another. And because I made rice, I also am making a cake for dessert. So I melted the butter in the pot that I was going to make the rice in first, so that it would add a little bit of butter flavor to the water for the rice ahead of time. So as you can see, once all is said and done, you have 5 meals. You have dessert, which I'm going to slice up into slices, so I have designated pieces, so I'm not overdoing it on the cake. You'll see that I did chicken, and I did one extra special one. I fried it up so it's a little bit different. And what you can do is you get the kind of cover so you can write what it is on the top. So you always have that ready for you and you know what it is. So that's just an easy way to make food accessible and healthier in portioned sizes so you don't overeat, and it's quick and easy and you can just pop it in the oven. So that's a nice way to get your food to be better for yourself.
Choose happy, the habit of happy, that is. Achieve ultimate happiness in only 28 days at the workshop coming to you this September. Register today to save $100. Go to www.softskillsdirect.com to learn more and to register today.
So that's our show for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Tune in next week where my guest will be Terry Hawkins, author of Why Wait to Be Great? It's Now or Too Late. So you're going to want to tune in for that. We had a really good, fun conversation. All right? So until next time, go be do.